Hey there, welcome back to the Path to Zion podcast, where we are rediscovering the ancient way. Once again, we're going to do a very brief audio-only episode here today. And what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about how a house is a sacred space. There's just something unique about being within the walls of your family dwelling. There's safety there. It's a special place where meals are eaten together. Rest takes place every night, hopefully in your home. Memories are made within the walls of a house. Our homes are uniquely our own, and each one is distinctly different. These dwellings have windows to look outside, and they have doors that open and close that offer both restraint and access depending on who you are. Generally, there is a primary entrance that's locked at appropriate times, depending on where you live. We keep our most valuable possessions within the walls of our homes. And most of all, the house is a dwelling where we carry on our day-to-day lives in safety. There's nothing quite like a house, a home where a family dwells. Now, the other day, the reason I bring this up, my son and I, we were out driving before sunrise, and I spoke to him about this principle. I had thought about it the day or a couple days before when I had been out early in the morning. And so in this dark pre-dawn morning, we could easily see who was awake and starting their day within their house. In this house, we could see a light on in one room. The next house was completely dark, and we said, I guess they're still sleeping. I said, I wonder what that family's doing in there where you could see a light on in just the corner of a house, perhaps a kitchen area. I said perhaps some are making coffee, some are maybe eating their breakfast, maybe another one's reading their Bible. I highlighted that we would never consider stopping and barging into one of these homes. And why is that? Simply put, well, we don't live there. It's not our dwelling. It's not our house. Again, houses are sacred spaces. It's simply understood that proper protocol is in place. And if you break that protocol, you are a trespasser. Now let's move on from the natural to the spiritual, which is, of course, why we're talking about this today. Interestingly, the Most High has revealed himself to man as a father. And this incredible father has a house. In fact, as odd as it may be for us to rightly understand, I think it's safe to say that he himself, in many ways, is the house. He is the dwelling. When David stated that he, quote, longed to dwell in Yahweh's tent forever and take refuge in the shelter of his wings in Psalm chapter 26, he was speaking of the Most High himself being a dwelling place, a shelter of sorts. Just like our homes in the natural, one does not just walk up to Yahweh in his dwelling and charge right in. Why? Well, it's his house. He is holy. He, of course, is sacred. A stranger cannot walk right in to the dwelling that is Yahweh. Just like we see in the natural, there's protocol in place. Without an invitation of sorts, one is an unwelcome guest, an intruder. Thankfully, Yahweh has always wanted a family. He wants people, his set-apart holy people, to be holy as he is holy. Ever since man was put out of his first house, the Garden of Eden, he's been making a way for a set-apart people to return. The way in was guarded by angelic creatures back in the Garden of Eden on the other side of the rebellion. It was guarded with flaming swords, keeping man out for his own good, by the way. A lot of people don't talk about that. But in the midst of all of this, a plan was in place, a plan that was extended to man to return. Now, not coincidentally, the Son is referred to as the door. Yeshua, the Son, the salvation extension of the Creator, is the door. And the door now is not the destination nor the goal, mind you. The door is of absolute utmost importance, yes. But the door merely provides entry and access to what or to whom? In this case, I would suggest that they are one and the same, Yahweh. Yahweh is to be our dwelling place. In the Psalms, David repeatedly penned that Yahweh himself was his hiding place, as we already said, his shelter. Many times he stated that Yahweh would hide him in his tent and conceal him in his tabernacle, as we see in Psalm 27, 32, and 119. The prophet Isaiah declared that the Most High would be his refuge and shelter in chapter 32. Proverbs chapter 18 tells us that his great name is a tower that the righteous can run into for safety. Psalm 91 verse 9 repeats this consistent biblical theme and says, quote, "Because you've made Yahweh your dwelling place, the Most High, who is my refuge, no evil shall be allowed to befall you. No plague can come near your tent." In the middle of harsh criticism and judgment towards Nineveh, the prophet Nahum reminds us that Yahweh is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble. He knows those who take refuge in him. Yahweh, I am promoting for consideration, is a sacred space, a dwelling, a house where one can take shelter and refuge. Psalm 65 verse 4, "Blessed is the one you choose and bring near to dwell in your courts. We shall be satisfied with the goodness of your house, the holiness of your temple." In conclusion, I would suggest that Yahweh's endeavor to make his abode among men via his Son, Yeshua Messiah, he was making his heart's desire crystal clear. He wants to be where his people are. Or we could more rightly say, he wants his people to be where he is. And he has made a way for us to enter into his courts. He wants his set-apart people to pass through the door of his Yeshua, salvation, and enter into his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise, as we know from Psalm 100. In New Jerusalem, if we look into the future, the prophesied city for Father's set-apart and holy covenant family, we will see the culmination of all things. We read, "I saw a new heaven and a new earth, and the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and the sea was no more. And I saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from Elohim, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, Behold, the dwelling place of Elohim is with man. He will dwell with them. They will be his people, and Yahweh himself will be with them as their Elohim." What an incredible promise, friend. Have you passed through the Son, or did you stop at the door? Please think on this question. When you think of a house being a sacred space, and just a few mere moments we've talked about the scriptures, just a molecule in the whole, and the entirety of the scriptures talking about Yahweh being our dwelling, his name being our shelter, himself, him, the Creator, the Most High being a safe, sacred space for his family, for his set-apart people. And if the Son is the door, as he is constantly referred to in the scriptures, have you passed through the Son, or did you stop at the door of the dwelling? Have you made Yahweh your dwelling, your shelter, your fixed abode? Are you living a life of righteousness that allows you the right to run into his great name, the fortified tower, so that you will be safe? Make sure today, friend, no one will waltz right in and presume that they have a place in the Master's house. All else is passing away, but his great name, Yahweh, will endure forever. He, the Most High, is our dwelling place, our rock, our fortress, our eternal abode, and a house is a sacred space. You've been listening to the Path to Zion podcast. We're rediscovering the ancient way. Check out volumes of episodes over the past however many years now. You can always go to pathtozion.com, send us an email at pathtoZionPodcast@gmail.com. Join in the conversation on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you so much for listening today. Amen.